Good morning. I'm going to read a story to you today. It is called The Mitten. This is the title of my book. Let's look at the cover of our book and these illustrations. Lily, what can you tell me about this book? What season do you think this is going to take place in?
Winter.
How do you know it's going to be winter?
Because there's snow.
Because there's snow. Excellent. What else do you think this book is about, Erin?
A mitten.
A mitten. How did you know that?
There's a mitten right there.
Yeah, and how else?
Right there.
And what about the words? What does it say?
The mitten.
The mitten. That's a good clue, isn't it? What do you think about the pictures on this book? What do you think is going to be in this book?
Animals.
Animals. Let's see. I'm going to read the picture. I'm going to read first, and then I'm going to show you the picture, okay? Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. Who is our character here?
Nicky.
Nicky. And what does he want?
White mittens.
He wants white mittens. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. Who was Baba?
His grandma.
His grandma. That's right. That's what he called his grandmother. Why did she not want to make white mittens?
It could blend in the snow.
They're going to blend in the snow. That's right. White snow and white mittens, not a good combination. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long before one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Can you find that mitten? Yes. It blends into the snow very well. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. Wait a minute. Do you see this little mole? Where is he? Oh, there he is. I saw him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. What do you think is going to come next?
The rabbit.
The rabbit? A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wriggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. What do you think he meant by seeing the rabbit's big kickers?
His feet.
His feet, that's right. Who do you think is going to come next?
The hedgehog.
The hedgehog. Or a porcupine, let's see. Up next, a hedgehog. That's smaller than a porcupine. Came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being one to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. They didn't want to get poked, did they? Who's coming next?
Owl.
The owl. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. What are talons? What do you think those are on him?
On his feet.
They're on his feet. They can be, yes, like claws, and they are very sharp. What do you think comes next? Who's coming? Ooh, we don't know what this animal is. Let's see.
It's an animal.
It is an animal. Let's see what it is. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, excuse me,
Bless you.
thank you, they gave him the thumb. This is a badger. And what do you think his diggers are? His paws, and he probably has claws. Badgers like to dig in the dirt. So they let him in. And when they gave him the thumb, what do you mean by that? Oh, Aaron, that's right. Thumbs up. Yeah, they're saying, okay, you can come on in. We don't want you to scratch us up with those big, sharp diggers.
Right there.
Yeah. Good. Who's coming next? A fox. Let's see. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A wave of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by and stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. What does that mean, drowsy? Sometimes when you stay up late and you go to school in the morning, you kind of come in and your eyes are falling down and you look very, very drowsy. Aaron's yawning. Yes, you're getting sleepy. The fox poked his muzzle in, and when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. There he goes. What's coming next?
The bear.
The bear. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out of the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched, and it pulled and it budged too many times its size. But Baba's good mitten held fast. The mouse. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Look at that. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze, just like I just did. Ha-choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up in the air, into the sky, and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. See the mitten? As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Do you see Baba looking outside in the window? She's looking outside. Where is she? Do you see her?
Right there.
Good, good. Oh! What is different in this picture?
One's bigger, one's smaller.
One is bigger and one is smaller. That's right. The end. Now, who was the main character in our story?
Nicky.
Nicky. That's right. And what did he call his grandma?
Baba.
Baba. And what did he want?
What mittens?
Mittens. What color mittens?
White.
Snow white mittens. I'm going to give you some cards. We're going to retell this story, okay? We're going to figure out what came first and what came next until we get to the very end. As we tell our story, we're going to place them in our big mitten. So Aaron, go first. Take your mitten. Who was first? Who are you putting in there?
Nikki.
Nikki. What comes after Nikki in the story? What did he do? He asked Baba, good, for what?
Snow White mittens.
Snow White mittens, excellent. Who crawled in first? Lily, do you remember? The mole, that's right. Good job. Aaron, here, let me move these closer to you. Who came after the mole? Who came after the mole? Do you remember?
The rabbit.
The rabbit? Where's our rabbit? You're right. Do we have the rabbit hiding?
Like he was hiding.
Ooh, Aaron, good catch. Did the rabbit Where did the rabbit go? Do you see the rabbit? Anywhere. See if he's stuck in here. Look at that. Good job. All right, so we have all of these characters and then the rabbit. The rabbit was stuck in my mitten. Silly rabbit. What comes next?
Hedgehog.
The hedgehog. Good. What came last? Or after the hedgehog?
The owl.
The owl. What came after the owl? The fox? No, let's think about that. The fox? Wait a sec, let's get that fox out. Oh, Aaron's trying to help
I
you.
think it's that one.
Yeah, let's find that fox. There he is. The badger, he had the diggers. Good girl. Then what
And the
came
fox.
next? Then the fox.
Bear.
The great big bear.
And the mouse.
And then the mouse. Excellent. You did a great job. Give me a high five. Good work.